just a bunch of other places that probably would carry the broadcast if they knew the broadcast was on, and that's why we have to do this marketing blitz. And $5,000 is not a whole lot of money when you're doing a blitz, but it will get us in some trade magazines and some social media campaigns to be able to further the word. And we're asking for your help. It's listener supported. And if you'd like to make a donation today during our hug campaign, all you have to do is go to forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. Trying to make it easy for you, but also fun at the same time. Hug. Help us grow. Program, again, is Heritage staple on radio. Been on the air since 1985. Joined Chuck professionally in 1995. From the Telford Hotel, the historic Telford Hotel in White Springs, Florida, and over 300 proud affiliates. Carried For the People for 3 hours, Monday through Friday, and went shortwave all around the world. In this show, conservative, God and country, we love America, love God, and we promote a Judeo-Christian worldview on this broadcast. And we're asking you to please step up and help us continue on with that legacy. ForThePeopleShow.com. Help us grow today, and we really appreciate that. All right, so the White House celebrating as we speak right now. They believe they have enough votes to confirm tomorrow Judge Kavanaugh, enough yays right from the Senate today, so really optimistic that things are going in the right direction. Lady Gaga, yeah, she's a singer. You've probably heard of her, but she was on The Late Show last night. I don't know if you stay up and you watch The Late Show, but she was on there. And just spewing off her full support of Christine Blasey Ford, the woman who claims Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh sexually assaulted her decades ago. Gaga said Ford was probably triggered and decided to protect this country upon the realization that Kavanaugh could get a lifetime seat on the nation's highest court. She is saying exactly why the left is doing exactly what they're doing. She was probably triggered. Yeah, don't you think she was triggered? Amen. The truth comes out. There are smart people in Washington that get this and understand this, the undecideds. They know this. And they know that this is an attack. This has nothing to do with what happened close to 40 years ago, where the lady doesn't remember the house. She doesn't remember the year. She doesn't remember the month, the neighborhood. She doesn't remember anything. But she does remember that Brett Kavanaugh did something to her. Genitals all over her. But has no idea. No idea. Yes, do I question a lot of it? And she's a doctor. Well, they did investigation into her background. She's been canned. She's done questionable. Her ex-boyfriend came out of 8 years and said that the good doctor threatened his kid, that she was going to kill it. Stuff like that, that she's wacko. That she was a whack job. Yeah, he came out and told all. And the interesting thing is they said they talked about everything. And never once did Brett Kavanaugh's name come up, or that there was a gang rape of any kind of misconduct during school. And they talked about everything, according to friends, according to the boyfriend. This is the left, folks. They couldn't win the election, and they know that the Supreme Court is the highest court in the land. And Gaga comes on The Late Show and says it was probably triggered. Probably. According to the Hollywood Reporter, they weighed in too. Should we trust that Dr. Ford remembered the assault? Gaga said yes. And I'll tell you exactly why. She's a psychiatrist. Oh, my dear Lord. Are you kidding me? She's a psychiatrist. I grew up in New York City, okay? And I worked in radio, and we knew a bunch of shrinks, and we knew that shrinks see shrinks. Just because you're a shrink, yeah, a lot of them are more screwed up than the patients. Okay? It doesn't mean anything. And she is screwed up. And whether she believes in her heart of hearts and in her mind for real that something happened to her once upon a time, I am sorry from the bottom of my heart if something did happen. But I do not believe that Brett Kavanaugh did these things to her. Gaga at 32, yeah, she's got stardom, but I just hate how these left-wing stars go on the circuit and they give their 2 cents in politics, and she doesn't know a damn thing of what's going on. She's been open about her own struggle as a sexual assault survivor. So that's, yeah, somebody just pointed that out, and I understand that. But it's so easy. It's so easy to be able to get on the bandwagon because it's a woman. So easy. And we should automatically assume that if a man was accused of it, then the man did it. I really fear the slippery slope in this country where people are going to get wrongly accused like Brett Kavanaugh, who is going to get nominated to the Supreme Court. It looks very highly like got the vote up and down. White House announced they really feel be secured for the nomination tomorrow. But I'll tell you what, they pulled out all the stumps for this one. Brett himself decided to write an op-ed, and I don't know if you've read this, but it would probably be worth reading. Brett Kavanaugh penned an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal yesterday, and I've read it. And he was decreeing what he described as vicious attacks against him while admitting that he might have been too emotional during his hearing on Capitol Hill last week. He says, I was very emotional last Thursday, more so than I've ever been. I might have been too emotional at times, Kavanaugh wrote. I know that my tone was sharp, and I said a few things I should not have said. I hope everyone can understand that I was there as a son, husband, and dad. I testified with 5 people foremost in my mind: my mom, my dad, my wife, and most of my daughters. And most all my daughters. I guess he's reinforcing it was mostly them. If you were wrongly accused of sexually violating somebody and you did not, would you not be a little emotional too? I feel his pain. I understand his pain. And again, we're not discounting that the doctor had some kind of incident take place. When, where, how, and who. And the 5 W's of journalism: who, what, why, where, and when. And the good doctor can't answer any of these. Who, yes. But any of the other circumstances, none. The house, who was there, who collaborated. It's just none of the stuff panned out with the FBI investigation. They were so hell-bent that the FBI was going to find all these people. And what they found out is the more they investigated, the more screwy her story sounded. And the more screwy, we find out the background of people that knew her, Blasey Ford, in her life, her professional life, and romantically, that never heard these things. Just a lot of things that kind of just make you go, pondering things, perplexing things. What's really sad about the whole thing that most people are aware is the damage that's been done. You know, it's really easy for Cory Booker, on the left to be able to come out and say, just because of that, and we know the damage has been done on both sides, Kavanaugh just needs to step down, step aside. They need to find another nominee. It's easy for him to say that, easy for the left. Left would love nothing more than that, but us to cower on every single nominee, not a chance. Not going to happen. The Resist group will do their thing and set up more demonstrations in D.C., and there's more scheduled, and there'll be more arrests, and there'll be more heinous, ugly things that will take place because there will be a backlash, and you'll have some loose cannons do some stupid, crazy things because you get Nancy Pelosi, and you get, groups that are part of this Resist putting commercials out, likening Kavanaugh's behavior to Bill Cosby, to Harvey Weinstein, and Bill Clinton. And it just goes on and on and on. Yes, and this is what's seared into the minds of individuals that are weak-minded or ill-informed, which if you watch CNN, I'm sorry to tell you, if you're watching MSNBC, most NPR stations, this is the crap that you're going to get. You're not going to know what's really going on. There's smear campaign, brainwashing campaign, and that's the crap that's been going on, and this is what the left is bringing with a resisting group, and they do not know Brett Kavanaugh, don't care about Brett Kavanaugh. All they hear is this lady was raped, she was groped, she was molested, she was traumatized. That's all they want to hear. But there's no collaboration. The FBI report came in, the 7th one that the FBI has done on this man and his family. And believe me, I feel so bad for this man's family, this good man's family. And now, the security detail around not just him, but his wife and his children, it's going to be tough. They will have to probably have an equivalent to what the president travels with, just about. What I'm saying is where they go, the detail will be pretty large. There'll be more than a couple people escorting them around to where they go for security reasons because of the nut jobs that are out there. Folks, we need to pray. We'll be watching and monitoring the situation tomorrow and over the weekend to see what the developments are. But meanwhile, we'd like to get back to something that we have kicked off today, and that is called our Hug campaign. And this is a way that if you love the show and have liked the program and have been a longtime supporter for the people, here's your chance to give us a hug back and help us grow. That's what Hug stands for. Help us grow. It's our fundraiser at For the People, and our goal, maybe a little ambitious, but ads are expensive in the big national trade publications for radio that go to every radio station in the country, and that's what we need to do. We need to let radio operators know that For the People is on the air. We need to be at the trade shows, making sure that's in their hand, and everybody knows, so we can get onto more radio stations and get the word out. We need to save America, folks. We need to keep America good. We need to keep America going great and making America great. I love the mantra. We support Donald Trump. I don't agree with everything the president does, but a lot of the stuff that he's done for this country has been in the greater interest of the American people, and he wants us to win. And that's all we want here at For the People, is all of us to win. Fairness for all, liberty for all. We have to have it, folks, no matter where you stand politically. We need to love each other. We need to do what's right. We can't just be persuaded just because of party lines. I've gone against my own party on several issues. When it's right. And when they're wrong, I say it. When they're right, I'll tell you. And Chuck did the very same thing. He was critical of George W. Definitely very critical of Slick Willie. Obviously, Barack Hussein Obama. Good riddance. Okay, let me make myself clear. People love me when I do the Obama voice. Today, we need your help. So let's go go ahead and play one of the songs that I was going to play earlier, that I just think there's nothing more American than this. Making a difference.